about to tell you is top secret. There's a powerful group of people out there that are secretly running the world. I'm talking about the guys no one knows about, the guys that are invisible. The top 1% of the top 1%, the guys that play God without permission. And now I think they're following me. Employee number ER280652. Just a regular cybersecurity engineer, but I'm a vigilante hacker by night.
What if you could set in motion the single biggest incident of wealth redistribution in history?
Their networks are getting attacked.
$13 million. That's exactly how much they lost.
Who did this? One guy. The whole thing comes down.
Oh, hi.
Elliot. Just attacked.
Hey everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing Season 1 of Mr. Robot. First things first, I want to give a shout out to Mark and Ronit for introducing me to the show. Probably would not have watched it otherwise. Second thing I want to make very clear is that there will be spoilers in this review, so keep that in mind. If you haven't watched it or want to watch the show, don't watch this video. That being said, let's talk about the story a little bit. You know, pretty standard story. It's a group of cybersecurity engineers who want to get rid of debt by hacking the largest corporation, Evil Corp servers. But really what makes this show are these characters. You have Elliot, and Rami Malek as Elliot is one of the best characters I've seen in a television show, who has all these delusions, who wants to do the right thing, and you see the struggles he faces with, and you're invested in his character from the get-go. But the whole entire cast is what really makes the show. Mr. Robot is great. All the people in the Hacktivist F Society is great. Martin Wallstrom as Tyrell Velic. What an amazing, creepy character. Really well done. You also have Mike Christopher as Philip Price, who plays the CEO of Evil Corp. Man, you know what's cooler than being cool? That guy. That guy has some sociopathic tendencies just based on his dialogue, and I'm interested to see more of him in Season 2. But just overall, everyone does a great job. You even see the transformation of Angela. It's crazy as she goes from this, like, you know, sort of this innocent, good character, but then struggles start to get real. Then she sees her boss commit suicide in live television, and then she sort of loses that humanity. And there's sort of a subtle critique there, I think, of like desensitization of violence and traumatic incidents and stuff like that. And the show does a lot of these critiques of culture, social media, and stuff like that. Very Fight Club-esque. Even the twist at the end where Elliot is actually Mr. Robot. But the thing is, I wish this show, the one criticism I have of this show is, yeah, it shows a lot of the bad things about society, and I love Elliot's dialogues and rants about his monologues, but I wish it would also give solutions to how to fix those problems. I get that the overall solution, or what they think is the solution, is to hack these servers and make people debt-free, but I'm talking about these larger societal issues that I wish the show, at least in a subtle way, would address. But hey, it's an overall great show, so other than that complaint, I think I would highly recommend it. I'm definitely giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. But before I end with my review, I want to talk about some speculation on the show. So the first question on everyone's mind is Elliot Tyrell Wellick? My theory is no. Just based on how Tyrell interacts with a whole different group of characters and based on all the stuff Elliot's already doing, working at Allsafe and stuff like that, it's very unlikely that he's able to do both these things at the same time. Even if Tyrell Wellick represents in some ways a different aspect of Elliot, I think he himself is a different entity than Elliot himself. And it'd be kind of a cop-out that not only Mr. Robot was in Elliot's head, but that Tyrell Wellick was in Elliot's head. Because you see Tyrell interact with whole different groups of circles different than Elliot, and also the same circles, and it's unlikely that they're pretty much the exact same person, just based on the fact that there's no way he could be at all these places at once. It's just impossible. At least we'd like to think that, unless the delusion and the illusions in Elliot's mind go a little bit larger, then that could explain that. But I'm gonna bank on the former idea that Tyrell Wellick is an interesting character that's doing something else, may have similar traits to Elliot, but isn't Elliot himself. And the next question then becomes, where is Tyrell Wellick? Honestly, I have no idea, and it'll be interesting to see how he comes up, what role he ends up playing, whether or not he gets arrested for the murders, things like that. We'll see where that goes. I'm very excited to see what actually ends up happening in Season 2. But overall, this is a great show. Credit to Sam Ishmael for actually creating this show and writing a few of these episodes. I mean, it wouldn't have happened without him putting it all together. And I just think I like how it portrays hacktivism. I like that it shows that there can be bad consequences too. That sure, all these people are doing it for a good idea of eliminating people's debt, but as we see in the last few episodes, it leads to this financial panic, and so people get actually scared, and maybe it actually ends up being worse in the long run. And I like how there's this controversy. It gives the pros and cons of what's going on. What are the consequences of deleting this information? And I like that it gives you that fuller, deeper picture, so to speak. Broadens your horizons and doesn't just stick to one view. I like how it deals with addiction, different orders like that. It deals with hard choices, painful memories, bad childhoods, things like this. I mean, I think another beautiful thing about the show are these shots themselves that capture these moments throughout New York. And the film was actually shot in location in New York, and you can definitely see that throughout the various episodes, and it really has that authentic feel to it. It wasn't just, filmed in Toronto or something for all of the show. It was actually filmed in New York, which was pretty cool to see it come to life. That being said, like I said, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I don't do this often, but I think it's at least season 1 was that good of a show. I'm interested to see what happens in season 2. That White Rose twist at the end where he's also, or he or she, or non-cisgender is also working with the Evil Corp was a very interesting twist. I'm curious to see how that plays out, how the Tyrell story plays out. And what happens to Steph Society at the end of the day? Like, are they just done now that the job is over? Or what's going to happen to all these different characters? Very curious to see what happens. Really excited for season 2. And thanks for listening to the review. I appreciate it. Have a great day.